A low sex drive can cause a lot of heartache in a relationship, but it's especially a problem when you're trying to get pregnant. And when you realize that some of the causes for lacking sex drive can also be causes of reduced fertility, then you're definitely not going to want to ignore this issue. The good news is, knowing what the causes of your low libido is often the solution as well. If this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, hello lovely. I am Inge Sprey and I'm a natural fertility specialist helping couples worldwide to fall pregnant naturally with videos on this channel and on my program, The Fertility Reclaim. You might think that having a low sex drive is normal. You may have been taught that as a woman, you're always going to want it less than your man anyway, or you might attribute your husband's reduced desire to stress at work or lack of sleep. But really, a low sex drive is not normal. Having a healthy desire for your partner is exactly that, healthy. And if you are struggling with a low libido, this is not something to ignore because there can be both physical and emotional causes that can be fixed. Wouldn't it be a million times better if trying to get pregnant would actually be fun? In this video, I'm going to talk you through the causes of a low sex drive and of course provide you with the solutions. But if you're struggling with a low sex drive while trying to get pregnant, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because next week I've got a video coming up on how to keep things fun in the bedroom when you are trying to conceive. In the meantime, I'd love for you to let me know in the comments down below, are you or your partner struggling with a low libido at the moment? Reason number one, you might think that you have a low sex drive, but actually you are not in your fertile window right now. As we gear up towards ovulation under the influence of hormones, women are going to desire their partner more because they're about to be fertile, they're about to be able to get pregnant. Outside of that fertile window, it is normal for your sex drive to be a bit lower, especially in the second half of your cycle. If this is completely new to you, you've never heard of something like the fertile window, or you have such irregular cycles, you have no clue when your fertile window opens, then head on over to my free course, Your Fertile Window, in which I teach you exactly this. I help you discover when your fertile window usually opens, so in a pattern, but also how to recognize that your fertile window is about to open this cycle so that you can maximize your chances of falling pregnant this very next cycle, your very next chance, and help you catch that egg. So have a look at the link down below in the description where you can sign up and have access to the modules and videos and worksheets right away. Reason number two is hormone imbalance. And knowing that hormones are responsible for your libido makes it a very easy step, right? That if you have a low libido, it might be a sign of hormone imbalance. When it comes to the sex drive of men, it can be a sign of low testosterone, and there can be lots of reasons for low testosterone. First of all, yes, of course, if your man is stressed to the max with work or with family issues or financial issues or lack of sleep or even with the trying to conceive journey, it's possible that all these stress hormones are produced at the expense of testosterone and that brings down his libido. But one of the things that I encounter a lot in my clinic as well is that there is another major contributing factor, and that is the past use of synthetic hormones. And this could be steroids, it could be fertility drugs that your man has been taking in the past because maybe his sperm test results weren't great. But in the long run, it has actually affected his testosterone levels or his ability to produce enough testosterone. Add a little bit of stress and then that is enough to reduce his sex drive. If your man's sex drive is reduced because of lower testosterone, realize that testosterone is also really important for the production of good quality sperm. So if the reason is a hormone imbalance, you're going to want to tackle this for two reasons. First of all, you want to improve his sex drive, but also you want to improve his fertility and make sure that the sperm he produces is the best that it can be. Along the lines of those synthetic hormones, something that can really impact your man's testosterone levels is also plastics. So the plastics that leak into our food, into our water, this communicates to our body that there is more estrogen in our body than there really is. And I did a video on this in the past, so I'll make sure to link that in for you. But the short story is basically that your man's body thinks that there's more estrogen and that counterbalances the testosterone. So I detox my patients a lot from steroids, from plastics, from fertility drugs, and occasionally I might choose to even detox men from contraceptives. Well, Because our water has been polluted with a lot of the contraceptives used by so many women over the past decades, a lot of our boys, a lot of our men have been exposed to these contraceptives as well. So sometimes it is useful to detox our men when they are struggling with low sex drive and maybe poor sperm test results. For us women, it's pretty similar. Lower sex drive can be related to hormone balance that is estrogen dominance, but it can also be a sign of low overall hormones. So if we are just exhausted, stressed out, that can cause our hormones to drop. But also if you're in perimenopause, your hormones are going to drop further as well. Again, past use of contraceptives, labor drugs, fertility drugs, the plastics in our water, steroids, they can all contribute to estrogen dominance or any kind of hormone imbalance. So if you're ovulating earlier than cycle day 12, or maybe you have a very short luteal phase that is 12 days or less, then those are signs that there is a hormone imbalance and it looks a lot like estrogen dominance. Now again, if you aren't sure when you're ovulating, then definitely go check out my course, Your Fertile Window, which is completely free. You can access right away if you click on the link in the description down below. So also hypothyroidism, whether it's diagnosed or undiagnosed, can also contribute to a lower sex drive. First of all, if you're hypothyroid, it's going to make you gain weight. It's going to make you feel cold. It's going to make you feel slow. So yeah, you're not going to have that high energy that you might want to have some fun in the bedroom. At the same time, hypothyroidism can also, again, contribute to estrogen dominance, which again lowers your sex drive. The very first things that I look at when there's hormone imbalance with my male and female patients is, again, reducing the plastics in their environment. It is detoxing of any past synthetic hormones, but it also is focused on contributing to a healthier hormone balance. So it could be that there should be more focus on nutrition, because if you haven't got enough nutrition, then your body cannot produce the hormones. Plus, having low nutrition is stress on your body, so you're going to produce more stress hormones, again, at the expense of sex hormones. And also focusing on, relaxation. It sounds so cliche, but it's really, really important. Relaxation, sleep, it all contributes to healing and contributes to a healthier hormone balance. We often switch on very easily, but today we tend to be on all the time and we need to be off sometimes. So I've already kind of touched on this, but reason number 3 is stress. And you might have heard of this a lot already. So you might think, yeah, low sex drive, stress, blah, blah. But hang on, don't fast forward just quite yet, because I want to remind you of the fact that the stress giving you a low sex drive isn't just an emotional thing. Yes, of course it's an emotional thing. If you're tired and you are constantly in your head, like I said, you're not going to want to have fun with your partner in the bedroom. You're just not going to be into that. But realize that if you have a lot of stress, your body is going to produce stress hormones, and that's both for you and your man. But your body is going to be producing those stress hormones at the expense of sex hormones. And for women, it's especially an issue when it comes to progesterone. When we produce a lot of stress hormones, we're going to produce less progesterone. When we produce less progesterone, it is going to cause estrogen dominance. And again, the estrogen dominance is a big issue for a lower sex drive, and also cause you to ovulate earlier and have a shorter luteal phase, which affects your chances of falling pregnant and holding on to your pregnancy. So the solutions of switching off, creating downtime, crossing off some days or hours in your calendar that nobody can make an appointment with you and you're not allowed to do chores, those are all important. Prioritizing sleep, but it's not just for you to wind down mentally and emotionally. It's also for your hormone balance to restore and for you to be producing the right hormones for a healthy sex life. Reason number 4, I've also kind of already touched on. It's just, when it comes to hormone balance, everything is related. So everything is connected. But I do want to mention this separately. Again, your nutrition is really important. If you have low density nutrition, you're going to miss out on some important things, especially things like vitamin D and omega fatty acids. And that is going to contribute to your body producing less hormones. And also, as I said, your body is going to feel stressed out. Like, basically, I'm alive, but I'm starving. So your body is going to be producing stress hormones. Stress is not just outside emotional mental stress. It can also be stress from within, like from an inflammation or low blood sugar, low nutrition. I'm a big fan of the Nourishing Traditions way of eating. So I would highly recommend that you go and type that into your search bar and have a look. I'm probably going to do a video on it at some point. I think I've been promising this for ages, but it's just such an interesting and vast topic that I just don't know how to communicate that properly to you yet. But in the meantime, there are so many fantastic resources out there already. The Nourishing Traditions way of eating is a perfect nutrient-dense way of eating for mom and dad to be that supports both a healthy hormone balance and sex drive and good egg and sperm quality. So I was just editing this video and I realized that I completely skipped over reason number 5, which is actually a really important one, because your sex drive can be reduced dramatically if you've had any kind of trauma, right? And if you've experienced this, I'm pretty sure this is a no-brainer for you, but I feel like it's important to mention. If you've had some horrible experience in the past, and it might even be minor, could even be in your relationship that it was just a little spiff that you might have had, or something severe, then it's quite important to address this, because past trauma can really affect your sex drive today. And homeopathically, you can support this fantastically, but if you haven't sought help yet for severe trauma in the past, then I highly recommend that you do that now. And reason number 6 is relationship problems. Hey, if you're not having a good time together, if you don't trust each other, if you're having financial problems, communication problems, guess what? You're just not going to be into each other that much. Newsflash. So if this is going on for you, I highly recommend that you face up to it, that you acknowledge that this is the case and you don't do this. Because you know what? Adding a baby to a relationship that is kind of rocky, it's not going to help. You are going to likely feel very unsupported and stressed out in your pregnancy and postpartum for that matter, and it's going to add a lot of stress to your relationship once baby is here. All the decisions you're going to need to make that are, healthy for your baby, or the things you're going to be worrying about. Are they teething enough or not enough? Are they growing enough? Is breastfeeding working out? Or when they're older, add to that lack of sleep. You being touched out, that's the thing. You're going to be so over being touched. You're not going to want your partner to be touching you that much. Like I said, it's not going to make things better. So if you are ready to acknowledge that actually there are a couple of things in your relationship you need to be addressing, this is the time. Prioritize that. Prioritize and nurture your relationship and your communication. That alone will really contribute to you guys having a lot more fun together. It can also be that your relationship isn't that bad, but you haven't really nurtured your sex life. You feel like maybe it should, just happen. That your sex life should just be fun by itself, and that is a myth. Your sex life needs to be invested in, just like your communication, just like your emotional, your spiritual, your mental relationship, your physical relationship also requires investment. Go figure. Now, if you think this might be the case for you, you might have been prioritizing getting pregnant in your sex life rather than it being connection between the two of you, then I highly recommend, again, the video that's coming up next week. And if you're wondering if your low libido might be related to you actually not being in your fertile window, or you think that it might actually be a sign of a hormone imbalance, again, I suggest that you go and check out my free course, Your Fertile Window. The sign up link is down below. And in the meantime, see you in the next video. Bye.